My fellow Americans, when our nation calls, we do not hesitate. We raise our right hands. We leave our homes, our families, and our futures behind. We recruit our young men and women, often from the schools and neighborhoods with the fewest resources, from the communities that already know hardship. We draw from the inner cities, from the farmlands, from small towns and big cities alike. From poor country boys and girls to those raised in crowded blocks of brick and concrete. Wherever resilience, not affluence, is found, America finds her warriors, and we go proudly. And as Thomas Jefferson reminded us, the tree of liberty must be refreshed from time to time with the blood of patriots and tyrants. Our veterans have paid in that price, in blood, in scars, and in lives cut short to keep that tree alive. But when the uniform comes off, when the rifles are put down, and when the wars are over, well, that's when the real battle begins. Because many of us, we return broken, not because we were weak, but because we gave everything we had. The scars, visible and invisible, are carried by veterans who were not chosen for privilege, but for their grit. Chosen from every walk of life, bound not by wealth, but by the strength to endure. And still, we came home to a country far too quick to forget the debt that it owes. It's easy to celebrate the warrior in times of conflict. It's easier to drape a flag and say, thank you for your service when the enemy is at the gate. But when the enemy is gone, when the parades are all over, and when we need housing, health care, or even dignity, far too often the warrior becomes invisible. Too often, the same people who cheered us on become the very first ones to turn their backs. I know this truth, not from a book and not from a news headline. I know it from my own life. I know what it is to come home to homelessness, to face closed doors, to watch powerful organizations monopolize resources while veterans sleep in the woods. I know what it is to be labeled, excluded, and discarded. Not because we failed, but because we dared to demand change. And that is why I will not be silent. That's why I will continue to speak, because this fight is bigger than me. It's bigger than my scars. It's about every man and woman who put that uniform on, who wore the cloth of this great nation, and now wonders if it even remembers their name. Everyone hates the warrior until the enemy's at the gate. But let me remind you, the enemy is still here. The enemy is addiction, it's homelessness. The enemy is suicide. The enemy is a system that profits off the backs of veterans while leaving the most vulnerable of us behind. My name is Matthew Simone. I am a veteran, and I am not done fighting. Because our duty does not end when we take off the uniform. My oath didn't expire, but neither did yours. The oath we all share as Americans, written into the Constitution, to defend liberty and justice for all. And in these divided times, we see our young Americans being sorted into endless categories by race, religion, sexuality, gender, politics, and every other label you could think of in between. It is important to honor who we are as individuals and to respect every person's right to be seen and valued, yes, but we must also recognize this truth. The more we isolate ourselves into smaller and smaller groups, the weaker we become. The more we stand together in unity and solidarity, the stronger we are. That is why the first words of our Constitution do not read, we the divided, but rather we the people, one nation, one flag, and one shared identity. It's our civic duty, but it's not just mine, not just veterans, but all of ours, to ensure that the men and women who fought, who sacrificed, everything for this nation, are not abandoned by it. We owe our veterans more than folded flags and empty words. We owe them homes, dignity, and a future that's worth living. We owe them a nation that does not just call on its warriors when it's convenient, but stands by them when the battle follows us back home. So hear me now. I will not stop. I will not be silenced. And I certainly won't rest until the warrior is honored, not abandoned, until the country we defended proves worthy of the sacrifices we so freely and willingly gave. Because justice for veterans, it's not charity. It is the unfinished business of America, demanded by the Constitution and required by our civic duties. I, for one, intend to finish it.